I have been here for 16 years. I assumed this current position as the CEO some 4 years ago. But prior to that, I was responsible for various different type of functions, but there has been all the time one part of the operations I have been kind of overlooking, and that has been our funding operations. So to this funding, I have there had been different type of things connected, like at a certain point of time there was the customer side, at a certain point of time there was even the back office. The last 5 years before assuming my current position, I was heading a organization which we are calling the capital markets. That includes our funding, then our treasury operations, and then our own liquidity portfolio.
And what do you feel has been key to effective leadership?
Let's put it that way, that my philosophy has always been that I want to work with a team, and I'm one member of the team. So we are all the time, we are having the bad and good days together. And it also means that transparency is one of the key words. The other one is naturally a trust. So that first of all the time with my teams, my kind of way of working has been that we are discussing quite a lot, but it means that we are kind of agreeing together the kind of guidelines and the kind of targets, what we want to achieve, and then it's more or less down to the guys to do the work. If they want, any kind of ideas, opinions or decisions, I'm always available. And that, it also means that in order to be able to do that, you have to be also, I would say, all the time open for the people and also very honest and transparent. Every leader is a different personality, and you can't try to kind of copy paste, what somebody else is doing, but you can more or less try to learn all the time. And also you have to be really honest to yourself and trying to, because we are human beings. We are not perfect people.
Could you give me something of an overview of kind of MuniFin?
We are the third largest finance institution here in Finland. What we are doing is that we are funding 100% of our kind of operation through the international capital markets. And then those funds, what we are kind of obtaining from the international investors, we are then kind of selling them in an open competition with the external banks to our kind of customer side. We have two groups of customers. We have, first of all, the Finnish municipality sector. And the reason why I'm calling municipality sector is that consists of the municipalities themselves, then the companies who are actually majority owned by the municipalities and working in the kind of non-competitive environment, and then the kind of municipal federations, which are they are the kind of joint ventures of the two or more municipalities, mainly working either in the social and healthcare side or in the education side. So that kind of forms the municipality sector. And then the second part is social housing sector, or I prefer to call it central government subsidized housing finance. And there we are not financing any kind of individual people. We are financing the project and also the companies who are running, these type of special kind of housing entities. Then volume wise, if you are looking at our total assets, they were at the end of June, they were about 46 billion euros. Our lending portfolio is about 28 billion euros. And then on top of that, we have the liquidity portfolio, which is about, usually it's somewhere between 10 to 12 billion euros. Our funding program, usually the annual funding program, that varies somewhere between, say, 9 to 12 billion euros per year. In terms of number of employees, we are still quite small. We are not more than 160 people. And then finally, the ownership. So we are owned by the Finnish kind of public sector operators. So 53% of the company is directly owned by the Finnish municipalities. Then the largest individual shareholder is a pension fund called Keva. That is mandatory pension fund for the people who are working in the municipality sector. It is actually the largest pension fund in Finland just now. And then the remaining part of 16% is owned by the Republic of Finland.
But I mean, what is the current state of the industry? The kind of marketplace at the moment. I mean, how competitive is it? What are the key challenges, obstacles, threats, and opportunities?
I don't see kind of funding as any kind of obstacle for our business, because usually, what happens, during the really kind of bad times, the investors, they are kind of seeking the kind of safe havens for their investments. As we have been doing very kind of long-term kind of IR business, IR, I would say, work, in the global marketplace more than, say, 15, 20 years. So the investors do know us quite well. And usually, this works, that really pays off when the risks are increasing. Just what happened last year. And that is kind of actually, it is kind of enforcing our kind of position in the markets. But then if you are asking what are kind of my main worries, first of all, naturally, all the time, it is kind of being able to, more or less, to attract, right type of person and people, to be able to employ the new young kind of faces, to be able to kind of modernize your operations, and also more or less then to modernize the way the people are working, and also try to kind of renew the kind of portfolio of the talents you have, in your company, and more or less to foresee it, I would say, quite long in advance, which type of talents do you need in the future. Regulation is a headache in that sense, that it causing a lots of work. Naturally, I don't kind of object of regulation. We saw already, in early 2000 what happened when we try to have and try to work in a kind of unregulated environment. It didn't work out. But then the problem is that now, especially in Europe, we are already reaching the level that we are quite close to the another extreme, which means that the regulation means more reporting, more people need to be kind of employed outside of the business side. And that means that longer term, you are losing the efficiency, and as you are doing that, you are you are forced to increase your own kind of prices, and who is more or less picking up the bills? It's always the customers.
Have you guys been integrating kind of new technologies into your own operations, and do you plan to do so going forwards? Where do you stand on this?
But on the other hand, we are really focused, we are really kind of specialized to our customers. There is nobody else who is only kind of doing the business with these two groups of customers I described earlier on. So it means that we have to know, and we do know, our customers' needs, the kind of special needs as the best. And those are then the niche areas where we are trying more or less to find, different type of new tools and systems for our customers to help them to work more efficiently. So what we have done there is that we started from the kind of loan administration side, then we moved to the kind of investment side, then to the kind of cash flow forecasting, and so on and so forth. And if you are asking that what is different in the municipality side compare, for example, to the kind of ordinary companies, and there are quite a lot of differences. Hence, the kind of other commercial, for example, softwares didn't they were not able to kind of I would say satisfy the special needs of the municipality. So there we have done different type of things, and there we have one roadmap what we are following. Then, when it comes to our own efficiency, we are a financial institution like all the others. So we do have some kind of technical, I would say, even debt, which we are just now paying off. So kind of bit by bit, we have been more or less kind of renewing and also modernized our own kind of productional systems. Usually they are really big ones, also on our terms. So it means that you can't run more than 1 or 2 projects at the same time. So there we have already done some part of that, but there is way to go. Then one part, and that was also quite a large project, which we are just about to finalize now this year, or towards the end of this year, was more or less to kind of outsourcing of our hardware, and also the kind of management of the kind of productional systems.
I mean, what is your company's approach to kind of identifying and attracting, kind of great talent?
Unfortunately, we are competing, for the same kind of talents like all the banks as well. So it means that we have to have something special to offer for our people. And naturally, the really important part is the salary. So there we are following the kind of salary level in the banking industry in Finland. And here I'm kind of referring the kind of total kind of remuneration kind of levels. Then we have also, we do have quite a good other benefits, starting from the very kind of wide and also good, I would say, kind of healthcare kind of insurance. Although that we do have a really good kind of public healthcare system here in Finland, still, you need also the kind of private sector operators as well. And there, we have a really good kind of insurance coverage, which is offering, for our staff, really good kind of different type of alternatives. Then we try to be really flexible when it comes to the the kind of people needs. One good and extremely important is that as I already discussed with you, in terms of business volumes, we are the 3rd largest in this marketplace, but in terms of number of personnel, we are really small still. So it means that our kind of organization is really flat. Actually, between myself and the person who is working on the kind of sorry, on the kind of specialist level, there is only 2 layers, not more than that. So it's really easy. I was discussing about our international kind of business, and there, so that we are able then to offer really interesting kind of jobs, because first of all, the funding and the treasury operations and the capital markets, they are very international. Then we are also we are really big player in the international capital markets. We are in a certain segments, we are one of the largest there. We are really kind of flexible there, so we are able to do structured type of funding transactions, which only kind of very few kind of institutions, even in the global marketplaces, are able to handle. So that's one part.
For example, any major new contracts, or kind of any plans for expansion or new service offerings, kind of anything that you're excited about? Or
yeah, let's put it that way, that one area which or where we have been really a kind of forerunner, not only in Finland but also in the Nordic markets, have been the kind of I would say the ESG type of issues, especially there the E and S, so the environment and social side. So and that's also very much on our cards for the next year and for the coming years, because as said, we are there the forerunners. We actually we launched the green kind of financing to the Finnish municipalities and to the Finnish markets as the first operator in 2016. In 2020, we also launched the social financing, and we were the first one to kind of issue the social bond to the international investors out of the Scandinavian, out of the Nordic markets. So as said, we are the forerunners, and what we are doing there, we want more or less to develop our operations there all the time.
What are the goals for MuniFin over the coming 18 months?
And the thing what we are doing is, and what we have already done is that we changed our kind of pricing to be much more lower. Also, in this kind of environment of negative interest rates, we are now passing and we decided to start to pass most part of the kind of positive effect of this negative interest rate to our customers. So it really means that it is quite an I would say material kind of stimulus injection to the Finnish municipality sector. We are speaking about quite a big money there, and that we have already done. But also it means that now we can kind of enforce our status among our customers, which most partly are also our kind of shareholders. And that's one thing which is kind of also the short term, medium and longer term, the kind of main focus.